I got to know that nursing is something that you can bank on for life. So generational wealth for me is not just something that you're passing a trust to someone. A digital marketer like me, you're thinking of, am I sure I'm going to be making so much money next month?
Welcome to Nurses Who Inspire Season 2. My name is Iyanoluwa Ogundare, and here with me I have Tomi Adenuga, an entrepreneur and a daughter of a successful nurse. Okay, so this season we are having a conversation that goes beyond bedside, and this conversation is about shaping our future, building wealth, and talking about legacy. Today episode is one many nurses ask me about, they talk about, and I feel like we don't really talk about it. We don't talk about money as much as we are supposed to be talking about it as nurses. Nursing is a noble profession. We all know that it's a stable profession, it's global, and yet many nurses struggle. They work hard, they work living paycheck to paycheck, which is not supposed to be the ideal thing, but that is what a lot of nurses do in this generation. And that is why I decided to bring an entrepreneur and someone that has been in a nurse space for many decades, which is Tomi. I will allow her to introduce herself and tell us more about herself. Just to introduce herself. Thank you for doing this with me, Tomi. I really appreciate you.
Thank you for having me, Yanu. It's my absolute pleasure to be here with you today.
Yeah.
So, for those, let me just introduce myself. My name is Tomi Adenuga. I am someone that I like to describe myself as a digital entrepreneur. I'm also an entrepreneur apart from in the digital space. And like Yana rightly said, I happen to come from a lineage of nurses. My mother is a nurse, my grandmother was a nurse. So I seem to yes. And I wanted me to be a nurse as well. But I said no way. I chose the other way, and currently I am a digital creator, an entrepreneur, an advertising consultant. That is what I do for my regular 9 to 5, but I know quite a bit about nursing.
Okay, thank you. I'm really grateful to have you here. And I have some questions for you, just for you to talk about it in your own way. What's your experience? What are your experiences?
Okay.
So I put these questions into 5 sessions.
Okay.
The first session is context and perspectives. So you grew up seeing nursing through your moms.
Yeah.
Your mom's journey. How did that exposure shape your understanding of money and work and long-term stability? Growing up with your mom, what your understanding is about money, work, and long-term stability.
So I will go with the last part, which is long-term stability.
Okay.
Even from a very young age, I got to know that nursing is something that you can bank on for life. I saw it through my mom, I saw it through my mom's colleagues. And funny thing is that I have a lot of aunties who are also nurses. Maybe they are in fact, a lot of family members. Looking back, I think a lot of people around me are actually nurses or in the health space. Surgeons, mental health nurses, bedside nurses, palliative nurses. I've been around a lot of people who happen to be in the health space, and I've seen them with the way they do. So let me even just face the one closest to me now, my mother. I got to know from how diligent she was that it was a very noble profession and it had like long term stability. So this was not just for the sake of, oh, I want money. Of course, everybody that was, to be honest, everybody around me who did it or who was doing it or who is doing something in nursing or in the healthcare space is something that is something of passion to them.
Yeah.
So, and with the passion, in fact, even when my family was going through a rough time, my dad used to work in banking, he left banking. As young as I was then, I knew it was mommy's salary that was helping us, to be very honest. And so my mom would be like, these are, I saw the dignity of labor with that. I saw it, and it made me respect that profession so much that, oh, there's something that, oh, let's say one person is not having a very good time. Yeah. This profession can offer you so much. Another thing my mom did then growing up in Nigeria was, my mom has always been someone that is very business minded. Nursing gave me that long-term stability, the work and everything. So right from when I was a child, even when I was like 2 years or 3 years, growing up, my mom, apart from working in the normal office and the hospital and all that, my mom always had a small clinic in the house. Private practice, exactly. Private practice. And that was really allowed a lot back then. People even knew that, oh, this person has this, and it's something that they even discuss among themselves. Those that have the name for it, in fact, they'll be like, "Ah, why do you still have power to go after work? You still," and she went to work every day. There was no time she'll say, oh, because I have this. But of course, even those are your customers, you understand that, okay, you're going to work every day. Of course, it's not as if you are going to be admitting people and you don't have anybody. She even had a few staff like other nurses, but she will come as the major person to come and oversee them. And so I understood it, and she kept on telling me that even if she's not getting money from a normal workspace, that she has money from this other place. She was able to like administer treatments to people. Someone has a wound. She even could. I've seen it many times. We used to help her, like help to birth babies, help to do circumcision and things like that. Yes. So in my own little way,
you are not ordinary
I'm
nurse.
an yes.
Because you are not a
I
professional
knew
nurse.
how to sterilize before the now that social media and everything, there's a lot of technology and development. Those days that they used to do the manual sterilizing, there's
the
this
autoclave.
yes, the autoclave, yes, there are all these stainless like things
that they will put
that
inside
they'll put
water.
exactly. You boil it. I knew how to do all of those things growing up, and she'll tell us that in fact we have to like learn how to keep everywhere clean. She'll tell us that mommy, this is mommy's workspace. I understood that from a very early age. Like you have to wash your hands, you have to always sanitize. So I even learned as a child how to start sterilizing equipment around the house. And because you've been around people too, she'll tell you that you don't know who is who. Go and have your bath, go and wash your hands, go and wash this thing. So I learned that from a very early age because of that profession.
The profession, yeah. Yeah, it's good you have the understanding about nursing, and that's one of the reasons why I chose you for this particular season. So, as a business person now, when you hear generational wealth, what comes to your mind first?
Generational wealth can be not just money. For me, it's even transcends money. It's not just money. Anybody can give anybody an amount of money in 1 year. That money might be nowhere. Like somebody said, sometimes your emergency fund is not just the money you even have saved somewhere. Emergency fund is what you have in your head. What you know that if I am pushed to something, I know I can go to so place. In 2 days, I can apply and I'll get something that will keep us going over and over again. So for me, emergency fund is not just the money that I can even afford to keep in your bank account for, let's say, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. It's that skill that you know that God forbid everything, like money is still going to come in. And that's the way I saw nursing. Like my mom would be like, let me say it in Yoruba, it's like a profession that still, by God's grace, though things are changing now and nobody really knows, but it's supposed to be a profession that can pass on from one person to the other. And it's the kind of knowledge. And I like the fact that it's the kind of profession that artificial intelligence, to a great extent, might not be able to take away. Exactly. So I see it as it's not just having liquid cash. It's not just about having liquid funds. It's about the know-how. It's about the knowledge. So generational wealth for me is not just something that you're passing a trust to someone. It's the viability. It's the business in it. Is what can you make from this? There are some people that there might be two children. Their father might probably bequeath wealth of $1 million to one person, and the other person, he gives the person a key. This is my business. Go and do whatever you want to do with it. One has $1 million, the other person has nothing. But he has like, okay, maybe a factory or something. The one that has the factory might be able to turn around that thing in a short while, bringing money. So for me, generational wealth is not just, oh, give me this amount of money. Money can finish quickly. You have $1 million. If you're thinking of buying a house, the money can finish. Where do you get the money to keep on like servicing that thing? So it's much more about services, what is viable in that thing, and that's what it means for me.
For generational wealth, I like that your example, and I believe that generational wealth too is not just money, it's not just you have your account. It's it's actually like a skill that you teach.
Exactly.
It's not, it doesn't even have to be only nursing.
Yeah,
Maybe you have like a company and
Yes.
you're teaching your children how you built that
Yeah.
company from
Exactly.
scratch. They have idea of what goes on in the
Exactly.
business. Even if you still have your own job, but you still you are still in the family business.
Yes.
You know what it is. Yeah, that's a good one. So now let's talk about nurse money reality. A lot of nurses earn well, but they still struggle financially. I see a lot of nurses that struggle financially. Even before I came to Nigeria, I said before I came to Nigeria, before I left Nigeria, because I trained in a teaching hospital, Lagos University Teaching Hospital, and I saw a lot of nurses then struggling. In fact, that was when I said I was not going to practice in Nigeria. That was one of the push that made me say I'm not going to practice in Nigeria. I saw a lot of nurses struggle. Then I came here too. I'm still seeing some nurses struggling. So, from your experience, why does this happen? Why do they struggle, even though they earn something, but they still struggle financially?
So I'll break this down into two.
Okay.
People might not like me for this, but this is my own truth and this is what I think. Number one, I think they struggle because maybe, I don't know, I stand to be corrected. Some people believe that nothing will give you millions and millions, and that's not entirely true. I have met people that they come into a new space, probably you're coming, you're relocating. It's not your strong thing. It's not what you really want to do. But because you've heard that they make so much money from nursing, you also want to go into it.
Exactly.
Nursing is not the only profession that gives you millions.
Sure.
You might even be able to do some
Won't
other
even give you
thing.
millions in the first few
Exactly.
years.
Exactly. So, like I said, to be honest, maybe the people that I am close to, before they, like my own mom too, she also relocated out of Nigeria. And she's been doing nursing all her life. It's not like, okay, it was when she now relocated, she now decided to take up nursing. So she could, because the moment you relocate, you understand that the nursing you did in Nigeria and the one here, they are very, very different. So people might not be able to cope and it breaks them. But you need to know why you're doing it. Is it for the fact that, okay, they say there's a lot of money in it? There might be something else that you're good at doing that can give you that amount of money as well. Then I think a lot of people are not financially savvy because that's one aspect. Anybody can have. Another thing is that a lot of us, maybe because you've been well paid, in all honesty, you think, and because sometimes when comfort is there, sometimes you get carried away. It can be to a disadvantage as well. I mentioned earlier that nursing is the kind of job that, okay, people believe that it gives them that stability and all that. So in your mind, you know that no matter what I do next month, I'm still going to make money. So you can easily not squander, I don't know, but you can easily spend on something.
And that's why they live from paycheck
to paycheck. Because you know that next month, if I shall do this amount of hours and everything, I'll still get money. But that's like because you're comfortable in that space, you know that you always have that money. It's a different mindset from someone that knows that, this money I am making, I have to save a lot because God forbid that my job is taken away from me in 2 months. Yeah. So you might see that person might be able to make and save so much money compared to a nurse. So sometimes maybe when you are too complacent, you are comfortable in that space, you won't know when in your mind you made 10K this month. So if something comes to you and they tell you we'll pay for a party, you can easily pay 5K. You can easily pay, and then money flies out very, very fast. You won't know how this money is just going. And to be honest, it's not people are squandering the money. People back home believe also that you're also very comfortable. You won't know when you're sending 1K here, $200 here, $400 there. It starts building up and it goes a long way. You won't know when you're paying so much black tax back home and you're just settling the lives of other people. But you're the one slaving here. So maybe because it's a profession that is very comfortable, people always feel like they can spend the money.
So your point is that a lot of them don't save. That's why they struggle.
Probably. Yeah, I don't have that statistics, but probably that's why. Because maybe they're probably comfortable in that space that I'll make this other money. Because at the end of the day, I can't say they're spending on other things. Right. We're all spending on the same thing. We're all spending on either rent or mortgage. We're all spending on groceries. Some of them earn a lot of money, but I think it's just that comfort, and there's a way your mind tells you and your mental health space tells you that I'm going to make this money next time. A fellow person working in tech might be like, yes, I'm making 10K now. Let me better save 8K because I don't know where my money, sorry, I don't know, I'm hearing gist that they are laying off people. But a nurse is not usually scared that they are going to lay me off. A nurse probably feels they get comfortable.
Always have my
You can always say, oh,
government needs us,
exactly.
hospital needs us. So
a tech person might be making more, but they are scared that what if in 5 months down the line, or a digital marketer like me, you are thinking of, am I sure I'm going to be making so much money next month? So you want to keep it to yourself as much as possible, but some other people might not see it that way. So probably that might be the reason. I don't know. I'm not in their head. So
I think it makes sense. Yes, I feel we shouldn't get too comfortable with what we are doing, and because of that, we get carried away spending money. We have to save. We have to save, and savings is one of the things that actually builds wealth.
Yeah.
People that are very wealthy now, they know a lot about savings. And yeah, thank you for that, Tommy. I want us to be practical now.
Okay.
The section 4 of this season is practical wealth pathway for nurses. And what do you think should be the fundamental or foundational financial step that every nurse should take or have in place before investing?
Okay. So for me, there's always like a pyramid that I refer to. I hope I can remember everything clearly now.
Okay.
The first thing before investing is even the last anybody should do.
Yeah, that's why I said what are the
yes,
steps
exactly.
you should take
Yes,
before
yes.
investing.
So number one, even though maybe it might apply to people, it might not apply to them, of course, have an emergency fund. Emergency fund is so important as a family. You look at yourself, either you're a single person or you're a family person. Something like, let's say on a normal day in a month, if it is 5K that can sustain you in a month, in my head, I like to double it. So if it's 5K that can sustain you, double it, so that's 10K, and have it for the next 6 months. So that's like an average of 60K.
Yes.
So I always like to have that, like, God forbid, let's have that emergency fund. So even if someone is asking for something, oh, grandma did this one, this person did this one, somebody broke their leg, still have emergency funds. What I realize is that a lot of people have emergency funds, but they don't want to touch it. And they will come and ask you. You will not be the one that will be taken out from your emergency fund to suit them. And because maybe you're comfortable, they just always feel that you always have that money. Think of yourself first, because you're the one spending those long hours in the hospital. You're the one that has back pain. You're the one that is having swollen feet and the ones that people are being rude to or something like that. Think of yourself. If possible, I'll borrow this from my mom. I don't know how applicable it is here. Have a plan B. Nurses also get fired.
Sure.
Exactly. So
their license gets
their license get withdrawn.
suspended.
Or some God forbid withdrawn or suspended. So I have seen this happen. Like maybe you were attending to a patient. That's happened to my mom before. Many times she will call us and say, "I pray for me. Oh, they wrote a query against me. They told me to stop coming to this particular hospital." What will you do in that aspect? So sometimes emergency fund is not even for you to start putting your hand into immediately. It's maybe you've not seen a job in the first, second month. That's when you start going to your emergency fund. But the next thing for you is that if maybe for some reason you can't continue in this particular place of work, there should be somewhere else that you can easily tilt towards to. So maybe it's because of my own experience. My mom is the kind of person that should be like, as a nurse, I shouldn't be out of work. If for whatever reason, while they are still doing this audit or whatever in that particular place, there should be somewhere else that I am okay, I am clean, that my license still operates, I can go to, so that I'm not out of job for a long time. It happens. I don't know how practical it is in Canada or in the US, but I know it happens a lot in the UK. So while they are probing a case or something,
especially in BC,
exactly, they just tell you to stop coming to work. So what happens? They just suspend. It can be for a day, weeks, months, for months. So what happens? Have a plan B.
Thank you so much for doing this with me. I really appreciate you.
Absolute pleasure.
Yeah. As we wrap up this conversation and this season, I want every nurse listening to me to know that nursing would give you an income, but the decision you make would give your income direction. So whenever you go to work, you're making money out of nursing, don't spend it all. Save, have emergency funds, and yeah, do your job, do your best. Nursing is a very respected profession in our nation, in the whole world. So thank you for having me. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching our video. See you in the next season. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.